not hot, it's not cold. Yeah, thank you very much. We are live, so here we go. Hey, presto. So from Mheshimiwa to sit, then we just start. So honorable members, KEWOPA members, I want to start off by saying that I stand here with the permission of the chair, who is on the way and told us we can start, that she'll come and join us because she's near and she doesn't want to keep the program delayed. So we have her permission to proceed. So honorable members present, honorable members joining us online. It is working, but I'm using the lapel one. Would you prefer that? Yes. Members joining us online, KEWOPA partners, and friends and associates. Welcome to this event. My name is Alex Gakuru. I'm the Executive Director of Code IP Trust. We are a Kenya non-profit organization that promotes technology rights. We defend technology rights in the realm of policy, law, and regulation. Over the years, we have engaged with policymakers, legislators, and relevant regulators in our pursuit of technology justice. Now, over the years, we have also learned that no honest person can talk about internet without engaging or interacting with Google. Google is synonymous with online. So we also engage with Google primarily for two reasons. The first one is to ensure that they uphold individual rights online. And the second one is to actually appreciate them, recognize, and when they do the right thing, and thank them when they do those things. This is one such event where we are actually thankful to Google for ensuring that the space is made more friendly to women and girls. So today is particularly special to us because it's the first time Code IP Trust is engaging with legislators. And in the conversation we're having prior to this, we are engaging for the first time with you on the matter of women and girls in ICT. So it's the start of our conversation, and bringing Google and you together makes us very proud that this has come to be. And it has given us concern over many years that according to a study done by the Kenya ICT Board, the formerly it used to be called ICT Authority, now it used to be Kenya ICT Board, a study was conducted and it showed that online presence for women and girls is actually very much underrepresented. There are specific threats and challenges to women and girls that need to be addressed. So one may ask, yes, I'm standing here today and I'm saying I'm happy to have brought you here. What are some of the things that we have done? I want to assure you in 2013, working together with the Communications Authority of Kenya, we started dealing with this issue, looking at how that situation can change when they had a workshop discussing access of ICT for women and girls. So every person in Kenya has a right to equal access to information as stipulated in the Constitution. Women and girls, however, face various challenges which deny them the opportunity to enjoy access and use of ICTs. So I'm happy that Google, KEWOPA, and our partners are now coming together to ensure that that situation changes. Let me go straight to why we are here today. This is IAMRemarkable week globally. So Kenya, we are celebrating this IAMRemarkable week in the country together with many other people around the world. Soon you'll hear more about what IAMRemarkable is a program, but for the purpose of introduction, I will say that we are here today to seal a collaboration and announce and celebrate what makes us remarkable. Because among the cultural norms, social barriers that girls, women, and other underrepresented groups often face, it is the negative social perception about their self-promotion that holds them back from being outspoken about their accomplishment as compared to boys. Now, we are here under this IAMRemarkable program, taking liberty to be outspoken about what makes us remarkable. If someone asks you why, you tell them two things. Because no one can better represent me than myself. That's the first one. The second one, after all, it is I Am Remarkable Week. That's the second one. Hashtag I Am Remarkable. It is already here. You can see it was published there. And I want to then say, why am I remarkable? Am I also remarkable myself? I am remarkable because I pioneered in the technopolitics in Kenya. That's politics of technology. When it wasn't there, when we didn't even have fiber and there were a lot of issues going on and the rights in that space. I am remarkable because I brought Harvard Law School courses to 6 African countries and 4 institutions in Kenya, 2 of them being universities. I am remarkable because ever since joining social movement in 2001, my default position now is to start seeing situations from rights violation point of view, and I can't help it. So I start seeing how our rights being violated, subscribers, consumers of ICT. I am remarkable because I'm passionate about gardening, planting seedlings, watching them grow, flowering, to harvest, until maybe sometimes they grow as tall trees. And I did not have the confidence to stand in front of anybody to say about all of this. So I want us now to take us through to the agenda for the day. And the first thing we shall look at is we shall hear remarks from Michael Murungi from Google, who is the Government Affairs and Public Policy Lead Eastern Africa. We are going to hear an introduction, Grow with Google, from Jola Mojola Lua Aderemi Makinde. She is in Nigeria. She's the head of brand and reputation Sub-Saharan Africa for Google. Then we will get to the heart, the cranks of today, and we'll hear that from none other than Fazana Kubachandani, who is with us here. And from there, we'll hand over the program to KEWOPA, who will then carry on and then respond. And we will thereafter go into Q&A, vote of thanks, and then after that, we take a group photo, and then there'll be meals to go, where you just packed meals, and then you can take them with you. So without further ado, it is my distinct pleasure to invite Michael Murungi. And by the way, remember to hashtag is I Am Remarkable, and don't forget to tag KEWOPA and Google Africa. Michael Murungi, to tell us why he is remarkable and make his remarks as well. Michael Murungi, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Alex. Honorable Governor Mashomba, who's going to be joining us shortly, Chair of KEWOPA. Honorable members of KEWOPA here present and those who are joining us remotely. Friends of KEWOPA, friends of Google here and joining us remotely. My colleagues also from Google, good morning. I'm remarkable because I am the father of 3 girls. I learned that from another remarkable woman who is my mother, and also from my father. I'm also remarkable because in my 12 years in government, before I joined Google, I worked with an amazing team at the National Council for Law Reporting, Kenya Law, in making Kenya the first country to have its laws available online for free to the public. And that actually I learned from another remarkable woman, Gladys Bosholei, who was my mentor then and is now the women representative for Uasin-Gishu County. So there you are. Those are 2 things. But I want to thank KEWOPA for this opportunity to meet and collaborate. Begin by saying that, you know, our mission and vision in Africa as Google is that we want to be part and parcel of the communities that we work with here in Kenya and in Africa. For over 14 years, we have been in Kenya and in Africa. And it's been 2 decades since the company was founded. We like to pride ourselves in being an organization that puts our users first and pushes the boundaries of technology to solve the toughest problems for our users and the world. Our mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible is as relevant today as it was when we were founded. And we are more focused than before in building an even more helpful organization, a helpful Google for everyone, while ensuring that we are a responsible partner to the communities and the countries in which we operate. Our aspiration is to give fellow Kenyans the tools they need to increase their knowledge, health, happiness, and success. One of the reports that we authored and commissioned last year is called the Digital Sprinters Report. In that report, we found that beyond the 4 key areas of physical capital, human capital, technology, and competitiveness that are key in building the competitiveness of an economy, we found that in that report, gender inequality is an economic burden. And if women, who account for half of the world's population, are systematically excluded from economic opportunities, countries such as Kenya and other emerging countries cannot reach their full potential. So it is inconceivable that anybody can talk of economic and socioeconomic development when half of the population is being left behind. So any form of discrimination generates an economic burden that prevents individuals from contributing to socioeconomic growth. So, and one of the ways that we are looking to bridge the gender gap that exists in discriminatory labor market outcomes is through digital skills, in giving women and girls meaningful access to the digital workforce. And equity and diversity in skilling for women and girls should not be limited to initial programs that provide entry-level opportunities only, but should include managerial and soft skills that anyone needs to build a career in technology. Those are some of the findings in that report. So as Google, we have invested in a number of such upskilling programs. One of those programs is Women Whale. The other one is Women Tech Makers. And the program that is the theme of today, IAMRemarkable, which my colleague Fazana will tell you more about. And finally, our Grow with Google program, which my colleague Jola will shortly talk to you about, is designed to be inclusive, especially for women and girls. I want to thank Code IP Trust for this convening and KEWOPA for giving us this opportunity, which falls very appropriately on the occasion of our Remarkable Week, to consider a collaboration with Google that would support KEWOPA's work in bridging the gender gap. Thank you very much, and I hope that you will find today's engagement meaningful for your work in ensuring good social and economic conditions for all Kenyans, and particularly our women, girls, and underrepresented groups. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Michael. And now we move on to our next speaker. You heard the name Jola. It's actually Mojolaua Aderemi Makinde, the head of brand and reputation, Sub-Saharan Africa for Google. So Jola, and she's joining us online from Nigeria. Jola, it's your turn.
Thank you, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Alex, can you hear me?
And all of us.
Okay, great. Thanks, Roxanne, for letting me know. Thank you, everyone. Good morning. The chairperson of KEWOPA, Honorable Gatoni Womachumba, honorable members of the Parliament and KEWOPA, our esteemed partners, guests, and friends of KEWOPA and Google, good morning to everyone. I am remarkable because I'm 3 things. I'm human, I'm woman, and I'm exceptional. I'm human because I feel, I fall, I rise, and I adapt. I'm woman, I nurture, I build, I create amazing things. In fact, I'm a mother of 2. I'm exceptional because I help, I build things, I do amazing work. So indeed, I am remarkable because I'm human, I'm woman, and I am exceptional. As Michael has mentioned, Google has been committed to driving digital transformation across Africa and collaborating with government in inclusive and social economic growth, especially amongst youth and women. We've all experienced the devastating effects of the pandemic over the last couple of months. And we do appreciate that, for us to really drive towards economic recovery, we still have a long way to go. That is why our global CEO, Mr. Sundar Pichai, in his meeting with President Kenyatta earlier this year, committed $15 million to help drive economic recovery in Kenya, focusing on the following areas. $3 million in small medium business loans to help Kenyan business people and entrepreneurs get through the economic hardship created by COVID-19. $5 million in investment in Kenyan startups. $5 million to provide access to internet infrastructure for public hospitals, the judiciary, and educational institutions. And $2 million in charitable grants through our philanthropic arm, google.org, to help underserved communities recover from the pandemic. Part of these grants includes the google.org Impact Challenge for women and girls, which we launched a few months ago in March, which will be funding organizations creating pathways for prosperity for women and girls. Now I'll talk about a little bit about our Grow with Google programs, which I lead alongside my team. Through our Grow with Google programs, we're doubling down on our efforts to support Kenyans, SMBs, entrepreneurs, developers, and the educational sector. Since the launch of the program in 2016, we've trained over 1 million Kenyans, job seekers, students, and SMBs to acquire digital skills. This includes 15,000 developers, and we continue to expand the program to support more SMBs and developers over the next 2 years. At Google, we ask ourselves, how do we leverage on the best parts of us to contribute to Africa's economic recovery? I mean, we're all in Africa and we've all experienced the exceptional devastating effects of the pandemic here. Our free tool, Google My Business, allows the small businesses to build an online presence and access global markets. We've partnered with banks in Kenya to provide SMBs with access to finance at this critical time. In the county of Nairobi, we got the support and guidance of the Honorable Esther Passaris, the Nairobi County Women Representative. Honorable Passaris supported our partner, Africa 118, by providing a venue and mobilizing small, medium business owners, including women enterprises, for training that started in December 2018 and all through 2019 before the onset of COVID-19. She even went over and above to stream some of these events on our social media channels. 15 training sessions were held in total. Over 1,400 SMBs were trained, and 150 women entrepreneurs listed on Google My Business. I think you can see some of the pictures from the sessions on the screen. In addition to this, 20 Kenyan technology-enabled companies have graduated from our Google for Startup Accelerator programs. These companies have received access to Google mentors, products, and best practices. One of those companies is Tigwa Foods, who is revolutionizing Africa's retail by linking farmers and vendors to fair and trusted markets. We will continue to invest in Kenyan tech startups and help them grow. Another area that was badly hit by the pandemic is education. We have supported over 29,000 students and 2,000 teachers in Kenya to transition to free remote learning tools with Google Classroom. Our collaboration with Code IP Trusts, which Alex talked about at the beginning, and the Kenya Scouts Association has brought online safety training to 120,000 primary and high school students and updated the Scouts curriculum for current and future Scouts with online safety. Finally, we are supporting the technical and vocational education training TVET in integrating web and mobile app development and other digital skills into their curriculum. We always try to maintain a very strong gender representation in our programs. That is why with our digital skills programs across Africa, 48% of those that we've trained out of the overall 6 million are women. In conclusion, at Google, we believe that the success of our program lies in the partnerships and the collaborations that we build with like-minded organizations like this. The impact that Honorable Pasaris helped us to achieve in Nairobi is but an example of what is possible. Imagine doing that at scale with more KEWOPA members. With the collaboration of KEWOPA, we see the potential to bring Grow with Google to more Kenyans, especially women and girls who are running small, medium businesses or looking to build their own personal brands, businesses, and careers. I'm grateful to KEWOPA for considering our proposal for collaboration and looking to work with you in the near future. Thank you for your partnership and hope everyone would have a great day today there in Nairobi. I trust my colleagues to host you in the most amicable way, and do continue to keep safe.
Thank you, Jola, our Niger sister. We take your challenge to Grow with Google to greater height in Kenya. So thank you for that. Next, I would like to call upon another remarkable person. She is a senior executive at Google and is involved in developing great leaders in Google. She is one of Kenya's pioneer IAMRemarkable facilitators on those workshops. Please welcome Fazana Kubchandani. I said it and I was right, but now because of stage fright, pardon me for that. And you're going to take a couple of minutes, so I'll move to the back so that then you can take us through the cranks of why we are here. Thank you so much, Fazana, and my apologies for the pronunciation. Yeah.
Hear me. Wonderful. Good morning to the chairperson of KEWOPA, Honorable Gathoni Wamushomba, in absentia, honorable members of parliament and KEWOPA, our esteemed partners, guests, and friends, and my Google colleagues, good morning. I am remarkable because I helped to start and found the Google marketing team here in Kenya and across Africa 12 years ago. It's been an immense privilege to help localize many of Google's products, from Google Maps to YouTube, launch new products, and make Google relevant in Africa and Africa relevant to Google. I am also remarkable because I have stepped out of my comfort zone to really pursue my passion in leadership development. And this past weekend, I just completed my master's certification in NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, here in Kenya. And I am now pursuing further my passion to help people grow, showing up every day as me and bringing the best of myself to my work. I'm Fazana Kubchandani, and I currently work with the Google School for Leaders team in Google. And I have really enjoyed spending the last 12 years building the Google Kenya marketing team and working with IAMRemarkable. I helped to bring IAMRemarkable to Kenya about 6 years ago when it was founded. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about the program, take you through a small short exercise, and really give you a flavor of the I Am Remarkable workshop. It's usually a 1.5-hour workshop, so we won't have time to go through the whole thing, but I hope I will leave you walking away with an idea of what the mission is and what we are trying to accomplish. So first of all, what is I Am Remarkable? You've heard several of us share at this point our remarkability, and this program has actually touched over 250,000 people across the world over the past 6 years. It started in 2015, started by a fellow colleague of mine who we will hear from, Anna, and it really is centered around helping focus and empower women to talk more openly about their accomplishments in the workplace and establish the gender norms, the typical stereotypical gender-modesty modesty norms. And recently we've realized that it's not just women who actually are underrepresented only. There are many groups who are marginalized, and when we're marginalized in any way from the majority, it means that we're more likely to express and feel limiting beliefs, imposter syndrome, and less likely to engage in self-promotion. So this program is actually now available to everyone, whether you are or have ever been part of an underrepresented group, or whether you would just like to better understand the difficulties that others face and be able to assist them. So I'm now going to share a message from Anna, Anna Vania, who is the co-founder of I Am Remarkable. She created a short video for all of you today. So we'll just start with that before I share a little bit more about the workshop.
Hello and welcome to I'm Remarkable Week 2021. My name is Anna Viner. I'm the founder of I Am Remarkable. I'm Remarkable is a global movement that strives to empower everyone, and specifically women and underrepresented groups, to celebrate their achievements. To date, the movement has reached over 250,000 people all over the world in over 150 countries with the help of 8,000 facilitators. And we've reached over 800 companies and organizations that have implemented I'm Remarkable to bring it to their communities and to their employees. One of such organizations is KEWOPA. And I wanted to thank you, the Honorable Wamushumba, the chairwoman of KEWOPA, for bringing I'm Remarkable to your organization and giving us the opportunity to bring I'm Remarkable to your network and to your community. We couldn't be more honored for that collaboration. My best wishes to you as we celebrate I'm Remarkable Week 2021 and start what I hope will be a journey of collaboration that will touch the hearts, the minds, and the lives of countless girls and women of Kenya. Thank you very, very much.
So just a short video there from Anna. If we can also queue up the slides, it would be great to have those on the screen with us. So we talked a little bit about what is this I Am Remarkable workshop. And when we look at it, we see that women are generally well represented in middle management today. But when it comes to rising to the executive and leadership level, such as the women in this room, there are fewer and far between. And really, one of the gaps that we see is helping women to practice self-promotion. What do I mean by that? It's vocally expressing our achievements in the working environment. And we know that when we're actually able to take control of our voice and how we show up and how we are perceived by others and bring our uniqueness to the table, that the benefits are vast. An example of some of the challenges that just language can have in the actual reality of our world is that there was an experiment done on eBay where they had male sellers and female sellers. And they saw that just by the language that women were using in selling their products, they were actually making 80 cents to the dollar that men were making. Another example is that when women and men go into salary negotiations, we see that men negotiate 4 times more than women do. And when women negotiate, they actually ask for 30% less of the salary. These are just some of the small examples that exist today. And I know more than me, we all want to actually make a difference for the young girls and women that will be coming into the workplace. So this initiative really focuses on encouraging everyone, but particularly those in underrepresented groups, to have both the confidence and the competence to actually self-promote. And the second is, how do we actually challenge the perceptions around self-promotion? Welcome. Welcome, Honorable Gathoni Wamushamba. Personally, as a young woman, even 15, 10, even 5 years ago, I didn't have the same confidence that I stand in my shoes today. And I'm sure that I speak for many of you in that it comes with experience, it comes with some wisdom. But how about we start to create that confidence early? There are many cultural norms. I know that growing up in an Indian family, there were many feelings around lack of humility or a sense of boasting if you were speaking about your accomplishments. And that I would be best recognized if the work spoke for itself. Let's just put it that way. How many of you may share similar sentiments? But I know that as a mom of 2 daughters, what I am showing and how I'm behaving is setting the standard for what they will see and how they will share themselves in the world. So I want to share with you 2 of the core messages of the IAMRemarkable program. If we just go to the next slide. The first one is that it's not bragging if it's based on facts. We realize that if we worked on a project, accomplished a goal, or made a difference in some way, why shouldn't you talk about it? Not only may doing so help you with your own career success, but it also helps inspire others. Let's take the example of TED Talks and the reason that we love TED Talks and watching them. The reason that they're so popular is because inherent in the narrative is the speaker's ability to actually talk about overcoming challenge and accomplishing some sense of win or some sense of personal validation and accomplishment. And when we hear this, when we hear their achievements, it's inspiring and motivating to us. And it's no different when we share our own accomplishments. It can really inspire those around us. And it's also important because of the second point I want to make today, which is that accomplishments don't speak for themselves. As much as we may wish they do, we can't assume what others do or don't know about us. It may go against some of our cultural or upbringing norms, but how many of us have now realized that accomplishments need to be articulated? And we set the stage for those who we lead and who look up to us for establishing the norms ahead. And what I want to share is that speaking about accomplishments is not just inherited. It's a skill, it's a muscle that we actually need to flex to develop it. It's like going to the gym. We need to start somewhere and build our way up. And so it's okay to play around with this skill. It's okay to endorse others to play around with this skill and to support other women in speaking up about their accomplishments. As women, how often have we felt in a room that when we see another woman speaking up, it feels a little awkward? Perhaps we don't celebrate it as much as we could. And so I just want to leave you with these 2 points, which we unpack much further in the actual IAMRemarkable workshop. Lastly, I want to say in the next slide that self-advocacy matters. It's important that we're able to show our unique value and don't risk falling behind our self-promoting peers. The research actually shows that women are socialized to highly value communal goals, such as the goal to help others and connect with others. Women are therefore expected to be selfless, which is one of the components of modesty. And because women are expected to be selfless, they're also expected to advocate for others rather than for themselves. The implication then is that the modesty norm pressures women to advocate for the rewards of other people, but not for themselves. And this may be one reason why gender disparities persist in hiring practices, promotions, awards, raises, and other important outcomes of leadership. And the stereotypes about a woman's natural ability to be nurturing and agreeable are often at odds with many of the leadership attributes that we see that are needed to advance professionally. And so that's why we, the women in this room, and those of us listening on the live stream, can really step up to make a difference. In fact, there was a Google experiment done not too long ago where we looked at the historical data of over 6,000 job postings in an 18-month period to see what would happen with applicants. And what we saw is that when a job qualification summary is more than 54 words, the accomplishments needed for the job was more than 54 words, women applicants decreased dramatically. And so now we've created a tool to mitigate the bias. Before a Google job description is posted, we analyze the text as well as the word count and remove words or phrases that could bias a candidate against applying. And after that, we saw an 11% increase in applications from women. So now that I've shared with you some of the science of self-promotion, I want you to start to flex those muscles. So for all of those in the room and for all of those on live stream, I'm going to ask you to pause, take a pen and paper. A blank pen and paper. And I want you to think about all the reasons why you are remarkable. And you're going to write them down in the form of a statement. I am remarkable because. We've even put it on the screen. I want you to think about starting each sentence with I am remarkable because. Think about everything you have experienced in life, both personal and professional. Every single step that has brought you to where you are today. You have plenty to be proud about, so let loose. Nothing is too big or too small. Please focus on what you've done or you're proud of, as opposed to, I have great hair. Treat it like a journaling exercise, and I want you to keep writing continuously for the next 2 minutes. And if you catch yourself wondering whether something is remarkable enough, write it down anyway. Going to give you another minute, so keep writing. I am remarkable because. I'm loving watching the pens move on the paper in the room continuously. And when you finish your next sentence, I want you to just put your pens down and take a deep breath. Exercise does most definitely not end here. And can I ask for one or two reflections from the room? How did that feel? I'm looking at you, Esther. Yes. Okay.
I'm remarkable. When you start looking at I'm remarkable, it's about self-reflection. It's about complimenting yourself. And I think we're so busy that we might drop a compliment or here to others, but never to ourselves. But I have a tendency every morning when I wake up to say, but the first thing I do when I get into a mirror is to say, I am beautiful. I look at the mirror, the person in the mirror who's reflecting back at me, and I tell her or tell me, you're beautiful, So I've done this for many, many years. So I don't get out of my house until I acknowledge that I'm beautiful. And beautiful is not about physical appearance. It's about being in touch with your inner self, your soul, because physical beauty can disappear. I had a friend called Ruby who was burnt and disfigured, but she was still very beautiful because it wasn't about what she looked like. It was about who she was. So I always take that with me everywhere I go. Just tell the person that you're seeing, the woman or man in the mirror, what you feel she needs to hear. And for me, the phrase has always been, I'm beautiful.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. That's a true inspiration to see a remarkable woman sharing her remarkability already. I want to share now 2 videos from 2 more remarkable women that I would like for you to watch and listen, and perhaps see how you might expand on your remarkability after you witness others sharing theirs. We'll just share the 2 videos, please.
Question asked, who is Ida Odinga? Ida Odinga is me. Ida Odinga is a mother, a wife, a grandmother, industrialist, a mentor, a teacher, and many other things. I am remarkable. I'm remarkable because I've weathered so many storms, but I've still came out of them with a smile. That is why I'm here. I'm a remarkable person. I'm remarkable because as a teacher, I taught very many prominent women in this country. I've never gone to any country where I don't get some of the people that I taught. In Kenya, they are in all fields. Justice of the High Court, top lawyers, doctors, economists, name it. Many of them in any field in this country. Name any of those remarkable women, even in politics, most of them have passed through my hands. I'm remarkable. I'm remarkable because I've taken care of many orphans. I've paid for their education, give them a chance to learn and become remarkable people in this nation. And I'm still doing it. Nani kama mimi? I'm remarkable.
is Gathoni wa Mushomba. Gathoni wa Mushomba is a mother, a wife, a leader, a woman rep of the greatest county in Kenya called Kiambu. And Gathoni is also a media personality, broadcasting in the local languages that make my people get to hear what I'm saying. I have been at it in the media for 16 years. I have been broadcasting. I have managed the media. I have reported. I have researched. I have done all what it takes to be in the media house, including even being a director of a media house. And I love it. I am remarkable because, of course, I am the first woman to ever garner over 900,000 votes in a general election in Kenya. I am remarkable. I'm also one of those great women who are associated with the bold voices, brave voices, to speak for the vulnerable, and I've done it for the last 16 years. I am also very remarkable because I have been at the forefront to rescue a generation out of alcoholism in central Kenya, and especially in the war against alcoholism, addiction, and substance abuse. I am also remarkable because I am the first journalist in Kenya to ever sit for a PhD program when I'm holding a public office as a woman representative. I appreciate my culture, I appreciate my cultural food, I appreciate my cultural lifestyle. I also love cultural dressing. Sometimes once in a while I'm going to the villages and I want to feel like I belong, because whenever I wear that cultural Kikuyu dress, with all the hangings and the necklaces and the wristries and all the embroideries, you know, I just feel like I belong to the Kikuyu community. And that is why probably maybe I am so proud to use my cultural names.
Today. Thank you. And I invite all of you to think about what you may add to your I Am Remarkable list after listening to these two incredible women. One of the big components of self-promotion is actually witnessing others share. And I really, truly feel that the workshop, this is the essence of the workshop, is to actually voice your own remarkability and be able to hear that of others. So we unpack all of this during the course of 1.5 hours with the women that we work with. We have trained over 15,000 people in Kenya on I Am Remarkable, and we hope to do many, many more together with you. Finally, if we just come to the last slide, I just want to share the impact that we've had overall. It's a huge impact, as I've said, over 250,000 workshop participants, over 8,000 facilitators. We're constantly training more, 150 countries. But more than that, really looking at the impact of this work. Over 49% of those served in my workshop experience some type of job or career growth. 82% feel more confident, and 89% are self-promoting more often. So this is real work with real impact, and I look forward to what we can do in collaboration together with KEWOPA. I thank you today for your time, for your vulnerability, for hearing each other, and may we continue to share our remarkability. Thank you.
I'm sure members, honorable members, who will now be interested in actually undertaking the entire workshop. Thank you, Fazana, so much. I did not even know I'm that remarkable myself, and I'm a man. And I'm telling you, I think it's having that effect. I think members have already reflected how wonderful it is. Thank you, Honorable Chair, for granting us the authority to proceed, and also for gracing this occasion. We are indeed delighted. At this point, I want to acknowledge members who have joined online, KEWOPA members, Honorable Charity Kathambi, also Senator Petronila Were, and also a representative for Senator Sylvia Kasanga. We acknowledge you and we appreciate and thank you very much for being with us virtually online. Before I hand over the program to KEWOPA so that then they can take it to the next segment, and also knowing that we are dealing with distinguished members of parliament who are politicians, who are also talking about their people, talking about what, yes, I'll be remarkable, but I knowing like the chair, the chair leads by making others be at the front. Like we have just heard talking about saving people from alcohol, empowering people. I want to shift from the program a little bit. And before I call or hand over to KEWOPA, ask Michael Murungi of Google. Because you remember, I also said at the beginning, I have two roles. I also like challenging Google to tell us what they can do. Now that the members are here, I want kindly come here and tell us what are like the major takeaways that the members who leave this room today, knowing that this is a big plus for me and my people going forward. Then I'll hand over the program. Michael, I think you have given us a good thing to taste, Fazana. So you invited the challenge. So kindly tell us. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Alex, for putting me on the spot. Yeah, no, it's a fair point, really. I think, very briefly, I think we would love to have the opportunity, of course, first to, can you hear me? To bring IAMRemarkable to KEWOPA and its members. And beyond that, to even train KEWOPA members to also be able to lead the workshop themselves in terms of training the trainer. So we don't have to worry about going back to Google every time that we have to have a workshop. And we have the secretariat and members empowered to do that as well. And with Grow with Google, we would like as Google to back you up when you go to your constituents and they tell you that they are looking for opportunities, they're looking for jobs, they're looking for ways they can build their skills, and they don't know where to start. We want to be behind you when you say, when you tell them that they can grow with Google. We want to support you, and like we worked and collaborated with Honorable Esther Passaris to bring our trainers to lead workshops on Grow with Google and digital skills. We know, especially because of the pandemic, public gatherings may be a challenge, but we can do them online as we start, and we can also point them to the website for them to even start with their own self-paced learning as we proceed. And then even as we go into the elections next year, we know that this challenge of online safety weighs very heavily, does weigh heavily on everyone, but especially women and girls, and especially women in leadership. They experience a lot of negative, they have a lot of negative experiences online. There's bullying, there's intimidation, there is, harassment, and many other forms of, negative kind of engagements. So we would like, and Alex here has been working with us in leading an online safety program, especially in high schools and in primary schools for the last several years, and with the Kenya Scouts Association. We would like to bring our experience as Google in building programs that educate and empower our users on how to use how to be online in a way that is safe and responsible in terms of online safety. We would like to bring that to KEWOPA members, even as we go into the election period. And finally, on branding, and this is something that I've picked up from Honorable Mashomba in my conversations with her leading up to this discussion. She's really passionate about growing KEWOPA. And the reason you see KEWOPA's brand behind there is not by accident. Visibility. And we are partners in this. And our Mashomba is very good in leading the discussion around how do we get KEWOPA visible, both as a brand and also substantively being involved in the programs. So we would like Mheshimiwa to support with, I noticed that KEWOPA does not have a YouTube channel. And we would like to bring our technical expertise in helping you to establish a channel, manage it, and make it grow. Thank you.
I need not comment already. Already the response from the honorable member speaks for itself. So thank you very much, Michael. as Michael has mentioned, Grow with Google is one of the programs that support Kenya's youth, the jobless, students, job seekers, and I think that's really small businesses with digital skills. So I'm particularly delighted about what you have spoken about, building online resiliency for women and girls, because in the course of training on online safety, we pay special attention to girls because the kind of threats they get online do not equate to what the boys face. So we pay extra attention in terms of giving them focus. So I'm happy that you have introduced an aspect of that. Fazana, thank you once again for inspiring us, on how to have special, and also on the special message of solidarity from the founder of IAMRemarkable. We are truly inspired. Now, it's my honor to hand over the program to KEWOPA, in which case I will call Mercy, the program coordinator for KEWOPA, to take us through the next segment. Mercy, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Alex. Won't take long, but I think after Farzana's exercise, I was seated next to Alex and I could see him filling up his paragraph, his full scope already. And perhaps that's what Farzana is telling us, that women have to think twice about the things that they think are remarkable about them. And so today I stand here from around the country, and every time I am in a meeting or when I'm interacting with other partners, and one of the questions is people ask me is, Mercy, how do you do it? How do you do it working with 98 women MPs? So I guess I am remarkable, right? So thank you very much. Maybe just briefly for those who are online and also some of our partners here, KEWOPA is a caucus and also the Senate. We have a total of 98 members, and we are hoping in the next election that we'll have more women MPs. And also, I would like to say that KEWOPA believes that there can be no sustainable development without gender equality. And gender equality in this case means decision-making spaces. We want more women in all decision-making spaces. And being a caucus of women leaders, we are hoping in the political spaces that we'll be able to see women. At the local level, we want to see more women. Thank you very much, Google, for this collaboration. And we are also hoping that women will be able to come out more and self-promote. And you'll realize as women leaders, at times they're not able to talk about their achievements, just like Farzana has talked about. Even in the political scenes, men freely talk about their achievements, even when sometimes they're struggling. But women, even after doing so much, you'll find that they don't talk much about it. And I'm hoping that this program will help us build better. So I'd like to invite Honorable Professor Oduol to moderate this next session. She's one of our members of the executive, the chair for the nominated members in Parliament in the National Assembly. She will take us through the next brief session. Karibu Mheshimiwa. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Mercy. I want to take this opportunity to indeed say that I am remarkable because I am now facilitating a session of remarkable, honorable members of Parliament. I am remarkable because I am facilitating a session where I have a remarkable, honorable speaker. I am remarkable because I am indeed the most educated member of the National Assembly. I am remarkable because when you talk about my constituency, I do not need to tell you that I am nominee 001 of the Orange Democratic Movement, a party that is really known not just in Kenya, but seen to be powerful Africa south of the Sahara. I don't think I need to go any further because my remarkability is really that I am a professional, a teacher. I am a politician. I am in a political party, but I truly believe that women, when they work together across political party, across professions, across any area, will change the world. So I just want, as I facilitate, to say that I must celebrate that I did not realize how remarkable I was when in 1995, as I attended the Beijing conference and indeed spoke in the interest of making sure that no one is left behind on account of their gender, on account of their age, on account of their level of ability, or even as has happened in Africa and in Kenya, on account of ethnic or any other negative profiling. So it is my great honor to today partner with Google. And indeed, I want to thank the chair, Honorable Wamushomba, and I truly want to recognize and thank Honorable Esther Pasaris, and I want to thank Honorable Wangari. And I know that online, we not only have Honorable Charity Kadambi, we also have Honorable Rachel Nyamai. We have quite a number of other members who are logging in. We have Senator Petronila Were, and I hope that as we share, I have to also remarkably keep looking at the remarkable mercy that I have to determine that the time we are going to spend in allowing honorable members of parliament to share and to say something. So allow me at this stage, because I see that Google and KEWOPA are working in tandem, because we are really just ensuring that all the women are able to speak, to promote, and indeed to make a difference wherever they are. I will at this point, therefore, invite especially the members who are here in the room to get a chance to tell us how remarkable they are. And protocol sometimes demands that the Honorable Madam Speaker, I hope that Honorable Wamushomba, you realize that in the House there are rules, and so I'm going to request through you that I give the floor to the Honorable Madam Speaker, Honorable Soipan Kudate, to speak first.
Thank you very much. I will start by speaking to my remarkability, which has shocked me. I knew all the things I've written down, but speaking them out, verbalizing, is where the challenge has been. I am remarkable because I'm a young mother, a wife, a lawyer, a member of parliament. I am remarkable because I am a pioneer lawyer in my Maasai community. I am remarkable because I have overcome a lot of cultural stereotypes in my community to become a confident and effective member of parliament at a very early age before I got married. I am remarkable because I have been elected by 349 members of National Assembly of Kenya to be the first chairperson of the speakers panel. And while at it, I am confident, I am eloquent, and effective in that position. I am remarkable because with meager government resources, I have been able to change thousands of lives in my county because I'm a woman representative. And just to mention two of them, I have helped hundreds and hundreds of women in my community to increase their household incomes through the sale of milk, which is the only other thing that a Maasai woman owns 100%. And also, with the mega resources, I am remarkable because I have a total of 90 needy children under a scholarship program who would otherwise have not had an education in my county. I am remarkable because I've been through a lot of life, health, social status threatening challenges, but I have come out strong and still raring to go. And finally, I am remarkable because through the opportunities that I've had in my life, in my young life, I have decided to push the envelope further and run for governorship of my county, Narok. And the biggest motivation, which makes me very remarkable, is to be able to give space to one other woman in Narok to be elected as woman representative, because I've been the only elected woman in my county for all these years. Thank you, Google team. I know if with the inspiration that we have received this morning, I know I can write a book about my remarkability. And that is what I'll take away from this workshop. I'm very happy to be part of this. And I'm very expectant of the Google team that you will be able to hold our hands as KEWOPA to take this a notch higher. I congratulate the Honorable Esther Passaris for actually trend set for us as the KEWOPA members. And I hope we can replicate this in our counties. It's going to go a long way. Women are making great strides to make Kenya better, but nobody is talking about it. And when we talk about it, we inspire that other woman. I mean, I come from a background where we are supposed to be spoken to. I'm from a Maasai cultural background. I am not supposed to speak for myself, and least of all, to brag, because it's always seen as bragging about my achievements or what I'm able to do. But you realize, I realized while I sat there that that is one of the tools that has been used to propagate inequalities, gender inequalities in this country, and also to perpetuate discrimination against women, so that we don't have our space on the table. So I'm very happy that I made it to be here today. And while Michael, we went to university together, the University of Nairobi. And I think we want you to go further than just creating a YouTube for the general KEWOPA, but we are here. We want to be the guinea pigs of that program. We are only how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe less than 10 with the ones who are joining us online. We can start for us and reach out to all the KEWOPA members. And so watching Honorable Ida, Her Excellency Ida Odinga, you know, she's so beautiful, and you know her achievements, and she even seems to have been surprised herself that she's that remarkable, and she's so far ahead of me as a young leader of this country. So this will go a long way to even having the women who have set the pace for us, the young women leaders in this country, to come back and speak to their remarkability as we help those behind us also come up to speak to their remarkability, and we will make a great Kenya. Thank you very much.
I would now like to invite the Honorable Martha Wangari, Member of Parliament, Gilgil constituency, to come and share with us her remarkability.
Thank you, Professor. The Google team, Code IP Trust, our chair, Honorable Gathonu Amushomba, my colleagues, Professor Jacqueline Oduol, Governor in Waiting, Soipan Tuya, and Honorable Esther Pasaris, and all the ones that are online. I am remarkable because I am raising 3 wonderful sons. I am remarkable because I have been elected in the 23 constituencies out of 290 that are represented by women in this country. I am remarkable because I am one of the few who have served in the 2 houses of the bicameral house, having been a senator last parliament. I am remarkable because I was the first woman to get a bill assented to be an act of parliament in the Senate as a woman. I am remarkable because in this term, I have managed to drill and equip 8 boreholes in my constituency. I am remarkable because I have about in terms of acquiring skills in short courses and self-employment. I am remarkable because I have done tremendous work in improving the lives of my constituents. I am remarkable because I have fought so many battles, so many personal wars, and somehow I am actually remarkable because I didn't know I could say all these things openly. And maybe to the Google team, you don't need to do anything else, Farzana. It will just be an improvement of what you've done, because we always self-doubt. It's in us, it's in a woman. And in fact, I was listening to Michael going through the areas where women are discriminated. I mean, which area are women not discriminated? Which area? I mean, just recently, I'm celebrating my church, the Anglican Church. We are celebrating the first woman bishop, Reverend Rose Okeno, in 2021. In 2021, we are celebrating the first woman bishop. Go to education, go to the academia, ask these women what they have been through to be elected. I think everyone here would do a book. And I say that because I heard you say that we have attacks online and we go through attacks and trolls online. My friend, you don't even know. That's the tip of the iceberg. The things we go through, I don't think can fit in this meeting. And sometimes I personally read things about me and I'm like, what? Who is that? Is that me? Things you'll be attacked with your family, if you're in politics. I normally call it neck down politics. They will not attack your intellect. They will not say how many degrees, professor, you have when it comes to an election. They will not say that you have gone to school, you have done law on Soipan. What they will pick, you know what it is, from neck going down. We have survived. And I say that because we always self-doubt to say these things about ourselves. Just recently, I was meeting my team in the constituency and they are telling me, Mheshimiwa, you need to come and tell people you're the one who did this borehole. I don't think they know enough. And the MCA is actually saying they're the ones who did this borehole. An MCA is a man. And he would call me and tell me, Mheshimiwa, if you don't do it, I will do it. If you don't use it, I will use it. We have done so much. But for a woman, you have to work double as much for half the recognition. But I think we can fight about being recognized by others, but ourselves, we are grown up in that culture of not self-praising ourselves. There's something in one of my best quotes that I think about every time. If you follow me on Twitter or Facebook, you'll see I quote it quite often. And I say that you're sitting there on Soipan, wondering how strong you are, and yet so many people are threatened by your potential. You don't even know you are capable. I mean, right now, I can bet the men in Narok who want to be governors are not sleeping because of your being in the race, just by being in the race, doing nothing else. And I think studies have shown that, and we did this in last KEWOPA Mercy, someone had done a study last parliament and said, for women who actually go for, say, political power, by just declaring, you have like a 50% chance. By just declaring. Then you put the work into it. But getting people to declare that and come out and say, I can run for office, is the hardest decision you'll ever make. You'll, first of all, may have to choose your family or your children. It is an either or. And yet for men, it's usually very easy. And I say that with all respect to the men in this room. I normally tell our colleagues who are men, they are lucky they have wives. For us, we have to balance all of it. And I say that from experience. If you have children, you have to bring them up. You cannot delegate that. And you will be subjected to worse critics and worse criticism than that man who has all the time to run and do all the things that they need to do. My experience as a young mother, I joined parliament with a two-month-old baby. I think that has been written about. And when I came to parliament, I was in shock. First of all, I was called the Senator Wamtoto because I always carried my son, and I believe in WHO of breastfeeding for 6 months. So when you go for orientation, it is being done in Mombasa. They don't pay for your child to go down with you or your help. And parliament was for the first time shocked that they actually didn't have that facility, not just for members, but even for staff. So I am remarkable because today the Parliament Service Commission recognizes that you have to support young mothers, whether they are members of parliament or they are members of the staff, so that they are not discriminated. So they will pay for your flight down, they will pay for your room, for your help, and for your baby until that baby turns 1 year old. So, and I also got another one now with that introduction. I got another baby in parliament. In 2015, I have been very open about it because we didn't even have a breastfeeding creche in parliament. And we had threatened to come with the baby to parliament. And right now we have an equipped creche for members of parliament who are breastfeeding, including members of staff. So some of these things will need for us to walk in the shoes. There was no need that time because nobody had brought it to their attention. But for now, we are demographically a very young population. These are things you have to improve and work with. So I am very glad that this forum has happened. I only hope that we can be able to disseminate it down to the counties, those of us who represent rural constituencies. In fact, we were very shocked as CBC parents after this COVID pandemic because it shocked us because we didn't even know there was Google Meet and Google Classrooms. Right now, we are actually almost being lecturers for Google Meet and Google Classroom because now it's something that is being embedded in us. But we still have a lot of work to do because the access to connectivity in the villages is not the same as is in towns. So we still have to take it down. I am looking at an idea for women that are in small and medium enterprises that are in a village in my constituency, in a village in Homa Bay, because the problems are the same. As long as these women have no capacity to actually rely on themselves, they will be continually be abused. The issue of gender-based violence will still continue. And with this COVID-19 pandemic, it has gotten worse. So I hope that we can be able to trickle it down to girls and we open it up. And I will give an example. Last parliament, KEWOPA, the media houses would come to us and they're looking for a woman to go for a talk show or for a radio show or for a TV show. I would ask someone and everyone will doubt themselves. You say, what do they want us to talk about? ICTs. I'm not even an ICT expert. But a man will take that chance, go to that show, say nothing, and still be clapped for. But for a woman, you have to self-doubt. You have to think, am I competent enough? What will people say? Am I qualified? What will people think? But for men, I think it's easier, the way you are wired. For us, we self-doubt more. So I hope we can inculcate this in our girls right from the high school, because that is where it is grown. The confidence for that young girl we speak to. But I've actually looked at myself. The things I tell my girls in my schools to talk about themselves, I actually don't do it for myself. So even us, we hope that we can have these more forums like this ones. Let us bring this out. Let us be proud to say what we have done and be able to broadcast it, because I mean, if it is factual, it is not bragging. I didn't say that. And we will stop this thing of saying my accomplishments talk for themselves. You have actually challenged me. The things I'm going to say from here in my constituency, when we are running to the elections, the things I shy from saying, now I'll be more confident to actually realize if they are factual. I'll be saying that school I built, that borehole, it is me. That school, that hospital, it is me. Anything I bring, including a desk, I will be, even if it's a pen, because it is factual. That way, we can even increase the chances of women being elected in positions and also be role models for other girls. And I say that because these women here have fought many wars, including personal ones. And sometimes you want to give up. But I normally tell my girls when they ask me, or someone who tells me, Martha, you're very strong. I'm like, it is like your psychiatrist committing suicide. There are people who are looking at me and expect me to be their role model. So if I give up, what is that girl down there going to do? So we have to keep pushing because someone has to do it. So thank you very much for this, and thank you again.
Thank you very much as we continue to celebrate the remarkability. You can hear me? Yes. As we continue to indeed witness the remarkability and confirm it, I want to acknowledge that we have other members of Parliament, KEWOPA, who have joined us online. The Honorable Rachel Nyamai, I had noted earlier, the Honorable Jane Kihara, the Honorable Ruth Mwaniki, and the Honorable Beatrice Adagala, very, very remarkable members of Parliament. I'm sure that they will find a way of demonstrating their remarkability online. It is now my pleasure as we continue to celebrate. I just realized as I was seated there that I needed to also punctuate this remarkability by indicating that I am a mother. I'm a remarkable because I am a mother of 4 girls, one of whom is celebrating her birthday today. So remarkable girl. And I am a mother of 1 son. And I want to also say that I'm a remarkable mother-in-law and grandmother. Most important to me, however, is that I'm remarkable because in 2007, I know that Mercy does not realize that nomination that I have is a special one, because in 2007, I ran for the office of the Member of Parliament for Alego Usonga against all the tides of culture, because I was running against my son-in-law, my father-in-law, that is the father of my husband. You know how the father becomes in the village? And the one who won the election is my father. He is from Alego Usonga, the Honorable Edwin Inda. And I just realized that it is extremely important for me to ensure that I voice and I say this, because when the elders kind of got me down and said, you know, we have to talk about this, you have to know that there is a limit to how you can push this envelope. You know, we went to Beijing, you know, you support these women issues, but you don't get to do this. I am remarkable because I used the very culture, which is what I want to tell all girls listening to me to do. I asked the elders, when a mother-in-law and a son-in-law meets, who gives way? And the elders all looked at me and said, child, go ahead. Because the mother-in-law, clearly in any culture, is senior, is the leader, is the one who should go ahead. So girls, those who want to join politics, respect yourself, believe in yourself, respect the men, respect your culture, but never, ever let culture deny you your remarkability. I think on this note, I would like to invite, and I'm kind of struggling here, Mercy, in a remarkable manner, because I do know that the Honorable Esther Passaris is going to give us the vote of thanks. So we could now, all right, thank you very much. You know, this is a very good way of transparently making sure that we make good use of time. I know we have been here and all of us have not only witnessed as we watched the Honorable Ida Odinga and the Honorable Wamushomba, that we are here with Google, and we are growing, and we are truly celebrating, discovering ourselves. And it is my pleasure to now invite the Honorable Gadoniwa Mushomba, who is the chair of Kenya Women Parliamentaries Association, KEWOPA, to come, because we have seen her online, but we would now like to hear and feel her live and her remarkability. Welcome, Honorable Mushomba.
Thank you indeed, Professor. You know, I'm very humbled to be here. I bet that I'm late this morning. I don't need to say that I am remarkable, because already you have heard me and seen me bragging. Although this morning you've been told that that is not bragging, it's actually giving out in confidence that you're sure that that is you. Honorable members present, Honorable Pasaris, Mama Nairobi, ambaye ni host wetu. She's our host today, and we are very honored to have you. Honorable members that are present, our speaker, Honorable Soipan, and the next governor of Narok. I am so proud to endorse you. I know there is a lot of backlash from political parties when you start saying the next governor of Narok. But as Women Caucus, we are not shy of endorsing our own and saying the next governor of Narok County. Honorable Mother Wangari from Gilgil, one of our youngest parliamentarians with a lot of confidence. I can see my friend and colleague, Honorable Ruth Mwaniki, Karibu. And the honorable members online, we have Honorable Jane Kihara from Naivasha, Senator Petronila Were, Honorable Charity Kathambi from Molo, Joro, Honorable Recho Nyamai, and Honorable Adagala. The team from Google, and most appreciative Honorable Mr. Alex Gakuru from Code, IP Trust, and your colleagues and team from Google. I am very humbled, because this has been a dream come true. We've really looked forward to this meeting and to this launch today. We have worked behind the scenes, supported by our programs director, Mercy Mwangi, and your team. You've done us proud. Thank you very much for making this happening today. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, indeed, I was reading last night about remarkability. And sometimes it's good to read, because you want to put your tentacles deeper to get to understand some of these things that we take for granted. All things remarkable are surprisingly simple. You can imagine how surprised you are when you are told to take a pen and a paper and list down 4 reasons, 5 reasons why you're remarkable. And they're simple things that truly are even shocking you. They also are shocking me when I was writing down. Oh, you mean I'm remarkable because I was able to give the voice to the intersex children of Kenya? I was the first woman ever on radio in Kenya to come out boldly and defend the rights of the children who are born intersex in this country. A subject and a topic that most people run away from. It's a taboo from most communities, including my own community. We don't even pronounce the word intersex in Kikuyu. I know even other communities, such children are hidden, others are murdered, they are thrown into the forest for the hyenas to take feast out of them. So it's so simple, yet so remarkable. You can imagine how many children have suffered from such kind of biological condition. And it's not their wish to be born that way. We have had so many of them stateless, have no national ID, cannot access to universities and colleges because they are neither boys, neither girls. And such people, nobody thinks about them. And if we think about them, we are hiding. So I'm remarkable, because I went on radio and I said, there are these kind of people. And by the way, surprisingly, when I was talking about the issue, I only had an idea of about 5 children. When I spoke about it on radio, and that was as vernacular radio, I got 484 of them registering. And that was only in Kikuyu community. I believe there are many others in other communities. So remarkable simple things are simple, yet so powerful. So today we have learned from our team, Google team, and we can't thank you enough, that it is not painful for us to identify our remarkability. And it's also not painful for us to talk about it. I am a brand myself, and I keep saying that. People think you're bragging when you say, I'm a brand. Yes, I am a brand. I am a brand because if 1 million people can follow me on social media, then I'm a brand. It may not sound very good when you go outside, especially in our villages where we come from in the mashinani, to talk about a brand because they don't even know what a brand is. But when you're a brand, you say you're a brand. And my colleague Martha, you really make me proud when you say now you have learned that when you work towards a borehole and you achieve the borehole, talk about it, sing about it, compose songs around it, distribute the CDs to the communities around it, because that is the only way your remarkability will be known. And that's me, by the way. That's me. If I'm able to rescue a generation from alcoholism, I have a rehab center for them. It doesn't matter whether you believe in it or not. As long as it's somebody getting through to the rehab and getting cured, I sing about it. I even struggle to bring the President of the Republic of Kenya to the center because I am remarkable. I have done it, however small it may look in other people's eyes. So today, I am very, very proud to be here as the chair of KEWOPA, having worked so hard to make sure that this happens to us, not only because of this meeting that we are having, but because of what is going to happen after this meeting. I look forward to an opportunity where the Google team will work with KEWOPA members to train our media and our social media teams on how to package the remarkability about women politicians. Mother has said it here, Honorable Mother Wangari, that when we stand here, we look so smart and look glowing. But if you can open apps up and get to know what we go through, especially as women politicians in the eyes of social media. Sometimes I read social media and I even ask myself, like you, Wangari, wanaongea juu yangu hawa? Mimi, huyu ni mimi, nimechorwa katuni, nimeangalia hivi, miguu iko juu, niko on top of wheelbarrow, on top of sijui what. And those caricatures, sometimes I even wonder whether it is still me. And I have to stand in front of people and still speak to them and give them faith and give them hope and give them, strength. Sometimes, like my sister Esther Passaris, who I really admire, said that she stands in front of her mirror in the morning and speaks to the girl she sees on the other side. Sometimes I'm forced to do that, Esther. Sometimes when I feel like the burden is over me and I speak to myself and I tell Gathoni, this Gathoni I see on the mirror, Gathoni, look, stand strong, stand firm. Can you turn on the other side? Gathoni, can you smile? And then I start practicing the smile because that smile is what that girl in the village requires for her to work hard and become better than me. So if I look down and walk like a sheep, that girl is not going to survive. So this morning, I'm very, very proud because we are coming here to echo on our remarkability in our respective areas. It doesn't matter how small it looks, but we have just learned that remarkable things are simple in the natural eyes, but in the inner eyes, remarkability is great. I don't want to talk about KEWOPA because our programs director, Mercy, had talked about it. And our core objective today is to make sure that the next KEWOPA we shall have in the year 2022 going forward has more members who are going to be elected in the National Assembly and in the Senate. And not only in the National Assembly and the Senate, we also want to have more members elected in the county assemblies and the county governments. I am very excited when we have a governor candidate in the room, because I know next elections, we are going to have not less than 10 women governors in the Republic of Kenya. Let's clap for them, because I can see even some of them online. They are also, some of them are going to be candidates in the gubernatorial positions. I am also very excited because I know we have about 9 members of Senate that are going to be elected as senators in the next government, in the next elections. And we have so many nominated members or special seat members in the National Assembly, like my sister, Professor Oduo, who are also going to be elected in the next government, in the next elections. Let's appreciate them. The reason why we are going to have more women elected, not nominated, but elected, is because of the synergy that we are going to start off with Google today. Google is going to support women in the National Assembly, in the Senate, and also in our respective counties to package women and give them their brand names that are going to help them penetrate their voters in their respective constituencies and areas of elections. So we look forward to a partnership where we shall learn how to package the women candidates, how we are going to expose them and give them the right visibility they require so that they can be positively appreciated by their voters and are able to appeal to a lot of voters to give them votes. I do believe, and I don't know what it is that happens, that once a woman is in the political arena, it's very difficult to remove that woman from that arena. Because you know, once you get into politics, sometimes, like Mother said, it looks like we work double for us to prove our case against the male case. Sometimes I find myself doing so much on the ground to prove my case, yet the male member of parliament will only appear in the evening in the drinking spree. And after the drinking spree, which I will not participate, because of course I'm a woman and my culture and my image does not allow me to do it, the vibes inside the bar and outside the bar tomorrow morning will be louder than mine, where I spent the whole day doing the same thing. So women, we have a lot of work to do. But I guess God was fair to us. In his creation, God was very fair to women because we are given special capacities that are not given to men. And those special capacities are what that makes us become member of parliament, and we are still wives, we are still mothers, we are still career women, we are still directors of companies and NGOs, and we still can afford to smile. And by the way, we are also very heavy in faith matters, religion matters. We are also very heavy. Most of us here, I'm sure we have positions in our respective areas of faith. So that's how God created us, special in our own way. And therefore, we cannot sit and complain. We can only sit and celebrate what God has given us. Honorable members, those that are online and those that are present, I would want to request you that immediately after this meeting, get to list 5 areas of your respective constituencies and areas of elections you would want Google to support you in, and more specifically on issues of social media and media packaging, creating visibility around you. I am not so sure whether I have a good YouTube channel myself. I don't know whether my team is here, but I'm not so sure whether I have a good YouTube channel. All I know is that Esther Passaris has a very good YouTube channel. Mnajua mama Nairobi ako na Nairobi mwingi, ni mtu wa tao. And therefore, I look forward to working with Google to make sure that my YouTube channel is well done, updated as regularly as possible with good content. And so for Mother Wangari, who is here, and so for Honorable Soipan, and so for Professor Odur, and so for Honorable Ruth Mwaneki, and others that are online following us. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, social media has come in this country and has really come to salvage a lot of issues, but also has come with a lot of negativity. We can only embrace the positive issues along social media, but we also work towards repairing and amending the negativity that comes with social media. We cannot do that without getting the expert to help us. And therefore, this partnership is really, really viable and coming in the right time. How I look forward to having such a meeting in Narok County, where Honorable Soipan, who is mentoring the next woman rep for Narok County, will be able to put together women who are aspiring in the room and have the same session happening. Because the remarkability about them is what the Narok people need to know. People may know I'm Mushomba because, of course, I said I'm a brand, and I have opportunities to be on a national platform to talk about myself and partner with such people who can package about me and expose me to the platforms. But that very simple woman in Narok who wants to become an MCA may not be able to have this opportunity. So even in our preliminary meetings with Google, I kept saying that it's not about us who are already elected. It's about those women who look up to us, those women who are looking forward to become the next woman rep of Kiambu County. Of course, I'm not vying as a woman rep anymore. I also am aspiring for other better things. So I want to make sure that the next woman rep of Kiambu County is going to be remarkable and is going to be given an opportunity to expose herself and sell herself, her strengths to her electorate so that she can be able to get the votes. I am not yet saying what I want in my county. Sijasema ni nini nataka. Wacheni kuniangalia vile mnaniangalia. I have not yet said what I want in my county. I am going to say it at the end of the year, and I am preparing myself. But of course, you know I am remarkable, and I am a brand, and therefore I have to place myself where I belong. Mimi siogopi, huwa siogopi. I say it as it is. I am very bold, very brave. I say it as it is. Sometimes I get a lot of backlash. Sometimes I get a lot of support. But let me tell you, my training in the media, because I'm a media professional, my training in the media, I was trained that there is no negative publicity about politicians. So even when we talk about negative about you, sometimes it's good to listen and to appreciate, because that's what makes you grow. As I conclude, I want to thank all of you who have given this meeting a priority by coming up here very early. I must confess I was late. I was late because I don't know what's happening in Thika Road. Something I think was happening. The traffic jam today is crazy. I live in the county. I am remarkable because I live in the county. And I'm sure Professor Odor, you know what I mean when I say I am really remarkable because I live in the county. Living in the county means that you open your doors every morning to somebody who is sick, who wants transport to go hospital. A hungry family must come to your door every morning to ask for food. It's that serious. I can see Mheshimiwa Ruth Mwaneke smiling. And I want to donate my 2 minutes to Ruth Mwaneke, Mheshimiwa Ruth Mwaneke, because she's here, so that she can also say how remarkable she is. I know she's very remarkable, having served as a public servant for many years in the agricultural sector. And not only agricultural sector, but in the very hot issue of coffee in this country. She was the CEO of KPCU for many years. That's when I knew her. And she fought the wars of the farmers of coffee. Please allow me to donate my 2 minutes or 1 minute so that Honorable Ruth Mwaneke can tell us about her remarkability. Of course, we know she's remarkable, but we want to hear it from her. We said we are not bragging, we are saying it as it is. Karibu Mheshimiwa.
Asante sana. Thank you so much, our chair, and all our remarkable chair. Forgive me for that. And all our remarkable honorable members, and of course, Mercy and all the other organizers. Good afternoon. I think it's now afternoon. I'm so grateful to be among remarkable women. And I see a lot of remarkable ladies that I can celebrate today. We have a former PS here, somebody we have a lot of regard for, and whom we served with in the public service. Esther Pasaris, very remarkable. Mama Ta, you brought light to Nairobi. We can celebrate you. Gadhoni Wamushoba, our chair, a remarkable lady that I met a while back when I was facing backlash as a young CEO. I became a CEO at the age of 28 years. I believe I was the youngest. The unfortunate bit is that I was media shy. I didn't bring it out. But I believe I was the youngest CEO. And I thank God that at the age of 28, I was given a giant institution with 1,500 workers, with over 20 branches to manage at that time a 70 billion coffee industry. Not 70 billion of today, of back in the day. And the governor of Central Bank found it in his favor to call me occasionally because I brought the dollars to the country. The CEOs of the best banks, then the KCB, Barclays Bank, then Gareth George, Terry Davidson, and many others, Stanbic, invited me for lunch because they needed me to bring the money through their accounts. And that humbled me a lot, and it has humbled me to this day. Because I've seen PSs come and go as I served in the Ministry of Agriculture, Kilimo House. as I transited to become the CEO of the Export Promotion Council. And it was a CEO's position that only the head of state could accent to. Other CEOs are normally appointed by the CSs, but this one, you're dealing with bilateral issues. You are going to see heads of state. I remember when we were negotiating the bilateral agreement with the President Kabila, and I could host his generals at the Lillian Towers to discuss what we need to do as a country to tap into the DRC market and many others that I was sent to represent. I remember one remarkable occasion is when I joined President Kibaki to negotiate with China. And that's the time there was all this story about looking east. And I was left for 2 weeks to tie on the loose ends. And I remember being hosted by the second in command of the Communist Party, Levi Shen then, and negotiating all these issues that we were trying to do back in the day. Many things that we've negotiated, accompanied the late Kaiseri, CS, for internal security, to negotiate issues to do with security, because I was the lead negotiator and I had to, just open the doors and guide them. Even when I hosted President Kibaki or hosted President Uhuru Kenyatta in international forums, arranging appointments for them and taking the lead and being humble to take a back seat at the end of the day, even having worked for months to get these, meetings become a reality. And my last appointment as public servant was arranging the 10 high-level needs of Kenya to negotiate with the government of India under Narendra Modi, and escorting our president, Uhuru Kenyatta, for the meeting, and waiting for him at the airport and receiving him and taking him to the meeting after he only took a 2-hour rest. These are the things I was confronted with. A lot of the time I had to wear my, eye drops, not to look red in the eyes of my presidents as I received them, because I had not slept the previous night. And only to retire in March of 2017. And within 2 months, got the Jubilee nomination and thereafter become MP for Kegumo, the first ever in my constituency MP position. I feel remarkable for that. And I feel very greatly honored for it. And I'm very honored to even serve with you. Gadoni, you told me one thing that you'll never remember. You told me, I know you have faced some handcuffs in your life. Live beyond them because you're beautiful and there's so much good in you. And you encourage me a lot. Thank you for your remarkability. Thank you, Esther, for the encouragement over the years. Esther is my in-law. I love her so much. I admire her. And all of you, Wangare, I admired you as a young legislator when you're in Senate and all the way now being elected in Gilgil. We are remarkable. Soita, Soipan, I always know I'll catch your ear and your eye when you are sitting at the speaker's gallery, because at times I'm not able to shout a lot, but I know you always give me that place. And we shared a lot when I joined Parliament. Our parents were taken ill at the same time. We lost both. And so we shared a lot, and there's all this we share with you about running a little quiet, but we know what we are doing and we know what we are doing in our villages. I was only given 2 minutes. I think I've done them justice to say we are remarkable. And remarkable we are, and remarkable we become. Finally, let's not agree that these men sit somewhere in all the tables they sit, and hardly do they call us to divide our country. We must refuse. I admire what Mother Karua, Charity Ngilu, Phoebe Asio of back in the day did. That time I was just a public servant. I could never even talk politics. I admired how they could sit across party lines as women and deal with the women issues and concerns of the day. Mheshimiwa, you have tried to bring us together. We have been challenging you, I know. But we are going to rise above that as women. Because what concerns us as women rises above what these men are trying to do to divide us. Na sisi tutabaki Kenya, we will remain here. So we have a duty to make sure there is stability in our country and that there is peace. Women, let's join hands and do that. I love you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, how remarkable she is. She is very remarkable. I said remarkability is simple. When you look at Ruth walking and seated She looks very simple, but she's a bank full of wisdom. And her experience is really a network for growth. You know, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot ignore the importance of being unique. You cannot. Remarkable is differentiated in a highly crowded market. There's so much people offer, but you cannot ignore the importance of being unique in that very crowded market. Today, we have been challenged to make sure that we pick out what we think is remarkable, speak louder than you have been speaking, create visibility around what you think is remarkable about yourself, hammer it and talk about it and project about it as many times as possible. If you're giving out checks for the vulnerable groups, especially for those that have the kitty, don't just put one banner, put 20 banners. Talk loud about what you're doing with the vulnerable groups. It may look simple. You know, one day, one time, when I was elected, the first 2 months, I was going through the previous parliament, what women reps were doing. And I don't know how Soipan, but I landed on your page. I don't know whether it was a page or it was a post, where you had lined up pickups with the big tanks that were bigger than the pickup. Do you remember that post? Where you lined up the whole of Narok town, pickups were carrying tanks, and the tanks, I think, they were 10,000 liters capacity, so they were huge. And the pickups that were carrying them, some of them were even on top of pro boxes. Sorry. And I saw people saying the tanks are so big, and she could not even afford to get trucks, bigger trucks to carry the tanks. And you know, I admired that post. I kept looking at it because, you know, the massiveness of the 10,000 liter capacity of tank could not come out if she put it in a truck inside, in a big lorry. The massiveness of that tank came out when she placed it on top of a pro box. Tumpigie makofi mheshimiwa. To me, as a media personality, I loved the post. And I said, you know, this lady knows how to sell what she's doing. And then she just didn't go in the interior of Narok, pahali matanki natakikana. No, she had to come and parade them in Narok town. And she even did a Mogithi, a procession kind of, you know, showing off the 10,000 worth liter tanks, and, you know, and they were dancing the Maasai style, and the women were with their, you know, what are they called? The bracelets, you know, the shangas. And she was also wearing a shanga, you know. And you know how powerful that post was? That time I didn't even know her. I was freshly elected. I was just looking at how people package themselves. So when I have 100,000 shillings mother in Kiambu, 100,000, and I want to do a woman event, I sing around it. My vehicles will go around the villages the whole night singing about tomorrow's meeting, which I'm only going to spend 100,000. Because I realized that if you don't speak about what you're doing, especially for you as a woman, nobody will ever speak about you. So honorable members who are online virtually and those that are present, let's take the challenge. And it's not just going to be remarkable about yourself, it's also about the people you impact. So I'm going to end up saying, go out there and do something remarkable today. Go out there and do something remarkable today. I want to conclude by saying asanteni sana for being there for this meeting and coming to witness the official launch of our partnership between KEWOPA and Google, facilitated by Code IP Trust. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much indeed. As we wrap up the remarkability of the honorable members, I want to thank the Honorable Ruth Mwaniki, but tell her that I am remarkably saying that the PS she was talking about is none other than the Professor Jacqueline Adhiambo Oduol, because she didn't say who. So I realized that people might be wondering, so where is that PS? And I might just also remind you that I am the first woman to be PS in Nyanza. That is where I come from, and was the last serving permanent secretary. You know, now you have principal secretaries. There's a big difference between permanent secretary and principal secretary. And as I wrap up, I just truly want to also say that the Kenya Women's Political Caucus, which we have just referred to, we celebrate Honorable Ngilu, Phoebe as CEO, Martha Karua. I want to say that I'm remarkably standing here as the founder and convener of the Kenya Women's Political Caucus. And indeed, I felt that one of the things that I had written, which I did not share, was that I resonate and truly connect with Google as we talk about remarkability, because in the Kenya Women's Political Caucus, not only did we come across and refuse to be divided as women on ethnic, religion, any other political party networks, but we were, as members of the Kenya Women Political Caucus, the first to help women to say that I am a woman and I am political, because women tended to apologize because we were being relegated to maendeleo ya wanawake, which is a very good thing, because I think we are proud of being women. We want to do welfare, and we would be taken to professional institutions, but nobody truly wanted women to stand up and say that they are political. So as I continue to wrap up, I want to say that we have members online that have been there, some of whom we have not acknowledged. I want to truly apologize for that. We have the Honorable Mukami Rahab, MP, Nyeri County, remarkable woman indeed. We have the Honorable Pamela Odhiambo, the MP Migori, and I know that the Honorable Pamela Odhiambo would like me to remarkably ensure that you know that we also have her in Migori County looking to be governor in Migori County. So the Honorable Pamela Odhiambo is clearly online, and I want, as I wind up, to truly say I resonate with what Wamushomba said. I am currently the Vice President of the High-Level Advisory Group on Countering Terrorism and Violent Extremism. I just returned from the first global summit of the Interparliamentary Union of all the parliamentarians in the world, where we were looking at how we want to manage terrorism and violent extremism. But what I like from what Google says, and for me, the take home, is that as we look at the girls and the women, there is something that truly we are working on as we approach the 143rd Interparliamentary Union meeting, which is how to combat child sexual abuse. There is child sexual exploitation online. It is happening. It is happening right here in Kenya and in many parts of the world. And I am a co-rapporteur along with Ada Gekens, the Vice President and Senate in Netherlands, and Sarit Pon Satawedin, House Representative of Thailand. And I think that I want to truly say that I am honored that to be part of our meeting today, but also that Google will, as we ensure the young girls and young boys do not get lost, and as we continue to ensure that we use online and Google in particular, I hope that we will find ways of continuing to ensure that this message that we have here with KEWOPA can actually be shared with all the other members of parliament, particularly as we seek to also protect our girls and our children. I think it is now an opportunity to remarkably, yes, this is why it is a good thing to do things in a remarkable manner, because as I was doing it, I just realized that I need to get the Honorable Chair, Wamushomba, yes, to, yes.
Just one moment. I've just been reminded by the members who are online that in as much as we give the 5 points for the women MPs, senators and MPs on areas you would want us to concentrate with Google, that there are members who have remarkably contributed to the bills in the National Assembly and in the Senate. And we have a lot of bashing, especially from the political arena, when people say the women who are in the National Assembly and the Senate are flower girls. They don't do anything. We do a lot. but we don't have a way of projecting on what women are doing, especially the women who have bills and have contributed greatly on questions and motions. And therefore, even as we list out the few areas that we would want Google to partner with us in terms of visibility, I guess it would be important for us to pick out the bills that you have proposed and the level at which each bill is at, so that we can be able to see how we can project that. You know, when I was speaking about the intersex children and what I've been fighting since 2015, I am humbled to say that when I went to the National Assembly, I was able to come up with a bill to amend the Children's Act to make sure that when these children are born and their sexual positions are not clear, that we provide for the law so that the person who is actually attending to the midwife is able to actually put it in record that this child has an ambiguous sexuality. You know, once you have a paper that is showing that you have ambiguous sexuality, then it means that wherever you present your papers, people will understand. But when they cancel female and they cancel male, then it means you have no nationality, and therefore you have nowhere to go. So such bills are very critical. I may not be able to speak about them when I go to Mashinani because that is not the right platform. In the national platforms, we are not able to propel what bills we are working on. So members, this is a request I've been given by some of the members that are online, that we also indicate that aspect. And probably maybe we submit that request maybe by end of tomorrow, so that we can ask the Google team to start working towards what we have agreed today. Thank you, moderator, for allowing me to put that across. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Wamchomba, and thank you once again for the opportunity to moderate this session of very remarkable team, members of Parliament and the Google team. I think without any further ado, I'd like to hand over back to Michael, because my understanding, because we were now at the point when we are doing the vote of thanks. Do I just, because my understanding was that I would give it back to you, and you invite the Honorable Esther Passaris. I think I would like at this point really to say that Honorable Esther Passaris is a remarkable woman. And I know that it is a good thing in Google that we are allowing each one of us to say ourselves how remarkable we are. But I hope that at a point we might also be allowed to get to speak and to point out just how remarkable the others are. Whenever I see Esther Passaris, I am not only reminded of Adopt a Light and really just breaking what could be the ceiling in terms of who is talked about in business, but I always remember her with the courage, with the high heels, going for, and handling it very well as she was running and challenging a male for the position of Member of Parliament. So I want to take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to invite the Honorable Esther Passaris, the Member of Parliament, Nairobi County, who is hosting us, to come and deliver vote of thanks. Welcome, Mheshimiwa Passaris.
Wow, wow, wow. I am remarkable. And so is everyone in this room, and even those who are online, and even those who don't know they're remarkable, because there's quite a number of people that don't know they're remarkable. So mine is to say thank you to everyone that has helped put this together. You know, thank you, Google. Thank you, Code IP Trust, Alex Gakuru, Michael, also from Google, and of course, Mojo Lauluwa, Aderimi Makinde. I saw she was having a problem going with the Wamushomba. So this Nigerian Kenyan name thing exchange is a bit difficult. But thank you for joining us from Nigeria and basically talking to us and giving us insights about what you have done and what your team intends to do. And Farzana Kuchandani, wow, that's a new one. Honestly, I haven't come across that name. And to my colleagues from Parliament and, Mercy, our program coordinator for KEWOPA, Martha Wangari, Gil, Member of Parliament, yes, one of the 23. Wow, that's remarkable. We didn't reach 29 to make at least 10%. When we talk about single women constituencies, wow, the 23 really need to be celebrated. Honorable Professor P.S. Jacqueline Odwar, I love the most educated. Honestly, I just stopped at my first degree. You inspire me. You are definitely remarkable. Honorable Gathoni Wamushomba, our chair lady. Wow, you've fought many battles, but thank you. Even as we exit to come back again or to go into our new positions, it will be fantastic to see a united KEWOPA. It will be really nice to see a united KEWOPA because we have already so many battles. The last battle we need is to be divided. Now, to the men that are in this room, I just want you to know that wherever you came from your mothers to your grandmothers, to your wives, to your sisters, you're surrounded by remarkable women. All right? So that doesn't mean you yourselves are not remarkable. All right? The beauty about a woman is that when she is seeing the good in herself, she also sees the good in the other gender. Sadly, the other gender has yet to learn to see the good in women, right? It's a work in progress because we seem to somehow always be trying to fight space, all right, that you occupy. But we celebrate each and every one of the male genders that is here, right, as being remarkable, all right, and being surrounded by remarkable girls and women. So when you get home, this exercise that you've seen us go through, give your children, your girl child, your boy child, your wives, just say, write down about being remarkable, because we've got to take it to the household. We've got to take it to the grassroots. We've got to take it to the boardrooms. And we've also got to take it to the bedroom, where dominance of men is so high. So as I say thank you to Google for giving us this opportunity to just express ourselves. Yeah, Alex, you're laughing, but kweli, most of you guys, when you finish the job, you think you're the only ones who are remarkable in the activity. And women had no role to play, So we want you to know that we are remarkable even in the bedrooms. So we're claiming our space from base to boardroom to bedroom. Yeah? And base being mashinani. All right. So thank you, everyone. It's, parliamentarians are really busy, but we're here today. And for those who joined online, especially, I want to celebrate Mama Ida, Mama Shamba also for sharing as our chair. For those who joined us online, you're not here, but you're here, because this is our new dispensation. But everybody that made the effort to be here this morning, right? I know that you have so many other things that you need to be. But the one thing I want to tell Google, right? There's being in a meeting and being present in a meeting. This topic, I can assure you that we were present. We were not just here, we were present. And if we were present, it means the topic has hit a nerve. And that nerve, I want to start by saying thank you to the two Annas. I won't even start going to their surnames. The two Annas that founded this in 2016. They are remarkable. And because they are remarkable, we will recognize that we are remarkable. Thank you very much.
When remarkable people speak, you can't speak anymore. They have just taken it to a next level, the highest level. I think there were some questions we had received or might have been there that have been compiled. So I'll ask whoever was receiving those questions to ask them briefly, because I don't think we want to take more than another 10 minutes, and we wrap this up. So Mike, at the far end, please pose those questions, and then from media at the back. At the back, please. The microphone is at the back. So that then at least we can give those who are not here, they are part of the media, an opportunity to respond to the questions. Michael Monty. And please introduce yourself so that then we can know who you are and who the question is addressed to. How many do you have? Please, 4 questions. Please ask them and then be responded once, and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon. I'm Michael Omondi. I'm a media consultant and also a journalist in my former life. So I've managed to gather a few questions from this session. I'll begin from one. This can be responded to by either a representative from KEWOPA or Google. Apart from the member associations or organizations, which other partners does Google work with in the Grow with Google program?
Please repeat.
Which other partners or organizations does Google work with in the Grow with Google program?
Okay.
Then 2, how will the partnership with KEWOPA be sustained beyond the current parliament now that we are approaching elections? And some members, unfortunately, want to make it back.
Right.
Then now, this is to Google specifically. Michael Murungi, give us a brief breakdown of the SMEs and startups or IT firms that you've so far supported as part of the Grow with Google project. Then finally, still to Michael Murungi, how can the Grow with Google project be availed or be made accessible to those who are not able to access the internet, or what we call marginalized areas with no internet access rather?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. We'll take those 4 questions. I think I don't know who would want to go first, whether it is Michael or whether it would be KEWOPA. Who would like to go first? I will give you, whoever wants to go up first, please raise your, and you'll come in front. You'd have to come and answer from here for the purpose of the cameras. Michael wishes to be first. And you have 2 questions. Is it 2? 3, actually it's 3, because the third one is optional. Or both of you can respond with KEWOPA.
Thank you very much. This one is on. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, thank you for these questions. Our partners, especially in government, we've been working with the Ministry of ICT. So we've taken Grow with Google to the Ministry of ICT's programs that reach out to the youth, because it's also the Ministry of Youth, actually. The Digital Jobs Program that is being led by the ministry, the people who benefit from that program also have access to the online component of Grow with Google. We've also collaborated with the National Youth Service. We led a number of trainings before the pandemic to make sure that with every cohort of students or recruits that are admitted at the National Youth Service, they also have access to in-classroom sessions of Grow with Google. But now, clearly, that's not possible because of the pandemic. And as I mentioned also, we've also worked with the Ministry of Education in bringing this Grow with Google to the TVET establishment. In terms of SMBs that have benefited from our programs, there are many. Actually, if you want to know, you could even, for Nairobi, for example, Honorable Esther Pasaris can tell you the 250 women organizations that created profiles online after the Google training. I don't have their names right here, but you know, probably I can avail them later. So it's quite a number of SMBs. For example, this year we are targeting over 500,000 SMBs to be facilitated with creating Google business profiles online. So there may be too many to mention. And if you want to find out, actually, just search for, go to Google search right now and search for, let's say, hotel near me or search for shoes. Where can I buy shoes in Nairobi? And you can be sure some of the top listings will be SMBs who are doing that business in Nairobi that have created profiles online or whatever other service or product you want to search for. And in terms of access to those who are not, don't have access to the internet, it's a major challenge. Yes, we do have these courses and they're online, and those who have access to the internet can learn at their own pace. And but we realize not everybody has access to the internet. And so we have been running with partners offline trainings, and we were holding like the one you saw with the support of Honorable Pasaris. But because of the pandemic, we couldn't do that. So that has been put on hold. So once things have begun to open up, and we think that it's safe for everybody to be actually be holding meetings of that kind, we plan to continue with the trainings, and also to support other partners. Like I mentioned in this case, Ministry of Education, the TVET establishment, the National Youth Service, to be able to lead the trainings themselves. Thank you very much.
Very well. Thank you very much, Michael, for responding. The final question, the other question was specific to KEWOPA, is how KEWOPA, I don't think it's sustainability, KEWOPA will continue. I think it's KEWOPA's effort, collaboration will continue post this, and the chair has nominated Martha to respond. Asante. And by the way, thank you so much about your speech. It also touched me. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. And I think I'll just, it's a direct question in terms of the post-election next year. And just to put it clear to Omondi that the statistics have actually shown that 70% of parliamentarians don't come back. So we understand the fear. But KEWOPA as an institution still stands. I was in last Parliament's KEWOPA. Some of the members that were there that time are not here today. But even if they are not there next year, KEWOPA will still continue. So I hope that this can transcend, because the Secretariat is standing. It will continue running and supporting. It has enough support in Parliament in terms of the infrastructure and in terms of institutional memory. The Secretariat will be the custodians. If we get some of us back, or we will get some of us back. Yes, definitely. So there is always a member who was there last time. So I think the continuity is not a problem, and the sustainability.
Part of the reason Code IP chose to work with KEWOPA is because of the mission. It's not the person. The mission of KEWOPA carries is actually far more important than the individual. So the mission continues, the issues remain, and we have dealt them with history. So KEWOPA will continue even if, regardless of the changes, just like government is always there, regardless of who is elected president. Yeah, so thank you. Now, at this point, I'm calling the meeting to a close, and in so doing, I've already asked for hotel people to come and help us move some of these tables, because we are going to do a quick group photo here, about four rows. Whoever is taking us our photos, our cameraman, come and help us arrange here how we are going to be, the rows we are going to be, and then we can just call this to a close. And then I will announce that, because after the photo, people normally don't listen as well because of the noise and the movement. It will be meals to go. There was tea that you are meant to have at